As you may have noticed, in the original Big Mama Thornton song, there was no mention of rabbits. Somehow it got into the next one. Now, as a little footnote to this story, I was watching a video on Frank Sinatra, and it was done in about 1968. And the interviewer says to Frank, Frank, a lot of people get incredibly nostalgic about your old songs you did in the 30s and 40s. Then he chuckles. Do you think people will get nostalgic about You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog? And Frank just shakes his head and says, oh, no. Little did Frank know. So... I know all this stuff off by heart by now. By 1965, I'd bought up all the blues records that I could possibly get my hands on in Brisbane. So a couple of mates of mine went down to this mysterious city that I'd heard of called Melbourne. And they wrote me a letter. Remember those things you used to do? Wrote me a letter, and they said, Matt, you're into the blues. Come down to Melbourne. They're import record shops, and they've got millions of blues albums. So I got every cent I could lay my hands on, and I went down to Melbourne and bought a whole pile of great blues records. I also bought a nice pair of boots and a Larry shirt. I still had girls to impress. I wasn't a complete idiot. So I see the first blues act live that I'd ever seen, and it was Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee at the Melbourne Town Hall. So I not only started to hang around import record shops, but folk import record shops, and got all the Big Bill Brunsey and Blind Lemon Jefferson, Blind everything else. And I'd seen there was an album in there. I'd seen it a dozen times, but I'd never bought it. And it was called King of the Delta Blues Singers. And it was all the tracks recorded by Robert Johnson. So when Keith Richard from the Rolling Stones first heard Robert Johnson, he said it virtually changed his life. I think it changed mine. I don't know if this version's going to change any of yours, but you can only hope, can't you? Okay, we do this in chain all the time. It's called the 3220 Blues. I call for my baby and man, and she don't come. Call for my baby, man, and she don't come. The doctors in Hot Springs sure can't help her none. Hey, 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 honey, where you stay last night? Honey, where you stayed last night? Hell tingled, and you ain't talking right. I'm gonna shoot my pistol, gonna shoot my Gatling gun. Shoot my pistol, shoot my Gatling gun. The doctors in Hot Springs sure can't help her none.
She got a 38 pistol, I believe it will do well. Got a 38 pistol, I believe it will do well. Get my 32-20, cause it's a burning hell. Hey, hey, honey, where you stayed last night? Hey, 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 honey, where you stayed last night? Your hair tingled and you ain't talking right. I'm gonna shoot my pistol, gonna shoot my Gatling gun. Shoot my pistol, shoot my Gatling. All the doctors in Hot Springs sure can't help a none.
Thank you.